What's up everybody, True Evil here, back with another Neverness to Everness video, and today I want to talk about the Porsche Collab specifically and how to maximize your chances of obtaining these items during the collab event in 1.1, because I really love the outfit, I really love the car, I want both of them, but they also talked about how to obtain these items, which is through a gacha. When I heard that, I thought initially I was going to just 100% skip them, because I am not going to use my pulls on cosmetics, right? I want characters, like I'm going to pull for Lacrimosa, most likely won't have enough for the collab. But they did say that if you didn't want to use pools, you can use Fons. And they let us know about some events that are going to be in 1.1, and there were some things that I saw that if you do your resources in a specific way are going to maximize the amount of Fons you're going to obtain during those events. So I want to point those out, as well as some other really helpful tips that you can be doing now to make sure that you're going to have as much Fons as possible to guarantee those items. So without further ado, let's get in on it. When I heard that we could use Fons for pulls in the Porsche collab, I looked at the events that we're getting in 1.1, and the event that really stood out to me is Fons Rush. And the reason being is that we can double the amount of Fons we can get during this week. And the big thing about this event is that you're going to want to hold all your city stamina potions now for that event, because they are going to be worth 200,000 Fons per potion rather than 100,000 Fons. So this is going to net you a ton of Fons. So highly recommend to save these and not just use them willy-nilly. And then another thing I want to point out from this event is that you can redeem Annulith for city stamina. And because the Porsche collab, we can use either Annulith or we can use Fons to pull on that collab. It might be really nice to see if 100 Annulith for 100 city stamina is going to net you more pulls than just using the Annulith outright. Personally, I'm not going to use my Annulith for the Porsche collab pulls, but if you're thinking about it, be sure to wait until this event, because it might net you more pulls overall for the Porsche collab and guarantee you higher successes of getting that nice car. The next thing I want to talk about in order to maximize Fons for the Porsche collab is going to be how you build your characters for in-game. Because currently the best way, if you want to level, say, 2 teams up to level 60, upgrade their arcs all the way, upgrade their skills, you're going to be using Fons to purchase upgrade materials from the Hunter's Exchange. And although I think everyone should get the Tri-Keys and Annulith from the Hunter's Exchange, I don't necessarily think you should get the upgrade materials if you want to get that Porsche collab on the cheap. What you should do instead is know about this perk Lone Hero, which is going to be essential in clearing beyond the rails on the final stage. Now you might be saying to yourself, I should just level up characters. I'm not good enough to just use a single character to beat the boss on floor 10. One of the great things about the Beyond the Rails in-game mode is that at the second part, you can restart it at just the second part. So if you get a sub 2-minute time on the first part of the floor, you can repeat this over and over again. So if you're not very skilled at cheese, well, you're going to have some time to learn how to use cheese, and you're going to just be able to repeat this until you get that nice clear using Lone Hero. So I highly recommend doing that, because it's going to save you millions of Fons for upgrade materials, and most likely this is also going to help for the second iteration of Beyond the Rails. So it's just a really nice way to save your Fons and not have to fully invest in 2 teams currently. So definitely keep this in the back of your mind in case if you haven't started grinding in-game. Another thing I want to talk about in order to maximize your Fons for the Porsche collab is which life skills you want to upgrade for characters. For the cafe management minigame, any character that is going to say give you additional Fons are going to be the priority to level up versus characters that increase traffic, because this is going to net you way more Fons than those. So definitely have these as the priority. I would say this is the top priority, and then worry about the characters that give traffic. The characters that like increase prices of main dish are going to be the lowest on the priority priority, because switching out the dishes isn't necessarily going to happen every single day because of what's going to be hot in the shop, and they're just not going to net you that over time as much value as just the flat increase of prices. So definitely prioritize characters like Haniel and Mint for life skills over characters like Edgar. Now, this isn't going to get you more Fons, but if you have limited time to play during the week, I highly recommend for that double city stamina week to invest in the Hathor life skill, because what this does is you can go up to any city delivery person every day and just go, "It's done, bro," and you would just immediately clear it, don't have to do the driving portion of it. It's going to save you about 20 minutes, and you can burn 48 city stamina every day doing this, which is about half of your normal amount. So if you're saving all your city stamina potions for that particular week, this is going to save you a lot of time, and it's just a really nice quality of life, especially if you don't like doing city stamina. This has definitely been the best life skill in the game in terms of quality of life, and I highly recommend to invest in this. Even though it's not going to get you as much Fons, it's just going to save you a lot of time, and you're going to thank yourself later in the long run. Another really helpful tip in order to save as much Fons as possible for the Porsche collab is to, well, have a whale friend. And what I mean by that is there is a furniture piece that allows you to fight a boss every week to get Fons, which is this one right here. And currently, if you only have one apartment that allows this furniture, you can only get it up to level 6. And if you have the most expensive apartment, you can go past level 6. And it's definitely not worth spending the 8 million Fons if you're saving for the Porsche collab to get more Fons from this furniture, but you are able to battle the boss of one of your friend's accounts. So if your friend has a level 10 of this furniture, you can do the level 10. So if you have a whale buddy, try to find someone, all you have to do is be on their friends list, and you can fight the boss worth more Fons. So definitely do this. I am definitely doing this. I don't want to spend 8 million Fons for an apartment right now, because there's just so many things in the game I need to purchase, right? So if you want to just get that extra 20k a week, definitely try to find some friends. So those are my biggest tips in order to maximize the amount of Fons you're going to have for the Porsche collab. Hopefully they're able to save you millions of Fons to get you that Porsche car or outfit that you deserve. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the Porsche collab being a gotcha, as well as what your thoughts on the live stream were. Personally, I thought there was a ton of W's, like the witch's house is going to be a fast travel location now. The new areas look great. That one island gives me a ton of Inazuma vibes. Another thing that was probably a lot of people's favorite part was you can now mute Tagido from the main story quest, which I personally didn't think he was the most annoying thing in the world, but I know a lot of people who just outright hated him. So that was a W. And for me, they did say that they were going to fix a lot of the controller bugs, and I play on controller, so this is a huge W, because there was a bug where if you play a controller on PC, sometimes when you got out of the car, your analog stick stopped working unless if you log out. So during some of the quests, I had to switch to MNK, which was kind of awkward, but I'm really glad they're fixing so many things and addressing a lot of issues, and they're fixing them rather than just saying, "We heard your problems and we'll get to that eventually." They're really doing all the right steps, and that's why I'm really excited to be covering this game, because it seems like it's just all W's except for like a couple of things that are like neither here or there. They are so minor compared to issues in other games I've covered where I don't really mind as much. So see you guys next time with another NTE video.